It's 3:59. Oh, and we really don't know who would join us, right? Because there's not really a sign up, so to speak.
What? Yeah, I mean, I know who's with us. I have a list.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, okay.
But can people join in at any time? Like say, oh my gosh, they're, I don't know, putting the kids down for a nap. Can they join in at any time?
You betcha.
Okay. All right, so Jill's gonna mute everybody except me, correct?
Yes,
Yeah,
everyone is now muted.
Thank you, I love you. Okay, so you'll get on your backs, and the first pose that you'll come into is pentacle, where you look like a starfish. So you're lying flat on your back, and the arms come up to a V with the palms facing up, and the fingers can curl and relax. And then the legs are straight up flat on the mat, as wide as the mat, or even wider. So really the legs go that you would look like a starfish, or a pentacle pose it's called. And the legs are straight out, the arms are up to a V, and you're relaxing on your back. So all of these poses again will be on your back. And if you ever do need a break, just hug the knees to the chest and rock from side to side, or just bend the knees and have the feet flat. But first pose is pentacle. Lying flat, arms are straight up at a V, palms face up, the legs are as wide as they can go. There might be a natural curvature to the lower back. The feet can kind of just fall to the side like in Shavasana, but you are quite activating. So this is opening up all the meridians, the meridians, the energy centers, the chakras, and it's getting the blood flow going. So that's why I have you starting in this pose first, in order to increase circulation and start to activate the physical body. Now the breath with this entire practice, inhaling, exhaling through the nose, and a full deep torso breath, belly, rib cage, collarbone on the inhale, and collarbone, rib cage, belly on the exhale. So you do want to breathe as deep as possible for as long as possible. And always kind of emphasizing the exhale a little bit more to stimulate the parasympathetic nervous system. The inhaling deep and exhaling completely, and maybe the exhale is just a little bit longer than the inhale. Inhaling and exhaling. And with each exhale you let go of, this goes for every pose, you're sinking deeper into the pose, you're relaxing deeper into the pose, you're really aware of the physical body and how much more you can relax through each pose. So I was thinking about, because I love reading, I mean, if you take my classes, I love reading poetry and different inspiration while you're in this pose. And if you've never done yin before, we're staying in each pose for at least 3 to 5 minutes. It just depends on the pose. So you guys will be in this pentacle pose at least for another 3 minutes, just relaxing in this deep starfish on your back. So I was thinking about all the times in the past 11 years I've been teaching and what I've read in class and what are some of my favorites. And it always goes back to Danna Faulds, who is, she's a poet, and she writes poetry specifically for yoga. She has many books, and they're all just her beautiful observation on the yoga practice and what it means to her and the classes. So while you're in these poses, I will be reading poetry from her, and these are from her different books. And this first one is titled Self-Observation Without Judgment. Release the harsh and pointed inner voice. It's just a throwback to the past and holds no truth about the moment. Let go of self-judgment, the old learned ways of beating yourself up for each imagined inadequacy. Allow the dialogue within the mind to grow friendlier and quiet. Shift out of the inner criticism, and life suddenly looks very different. I can say this only because I make the choice 100 times a day to release that voice that refuses to acknowledge the real me. What's needed here isn't more prodding towards perfection, but intimacy, seeing clearly and embracing what I see. Love, not judgment, sows the seeds of tranquility and change. So if anyone's just joining us and you haven't muted your mic, please do. That'll help with feedback with us. So that's what this yin practice is all about, self-observation without judgment. You know, really being aware of the body, mind, and spirit, being aware of your space, being aware of the breath, being aware of how each pose makes you feel, and self-observe while you're in these poses. But do it without judging yourself or being harsh on yourself, just allowing things to be. So a couple more deep breaths here. And if you have an intention for this afternoon's practice, please set it now for yourself. And also dedicate your practice to someone else. Staying in the pose, inhale deeply through the nose and exhale completely through the mouth. Inhale nose, exhale mouth, and inhale nose, exhale mouth. Come back to long, deep breathing through the nose. Start to wiggle the fingers and the toes. And you can rotate through the ankles and wrists or start to point and flex through the feet as well. And our next pose still on your back is morning stretch or body yawn, which means you bring the legs together. They're still straight out flat on the mat. And the arms are alongside the ears and you're pointing through the toes and spreading through the fingers and stretching super long and tall throughout the whole body. So here you're actually activating. You're spreading those fingers, pointing through the toes, activating throughout the whole body, making sure you're getting that deep breath for the ribs, the intercostals, the belly, coming up to the heart and the throat, and just stretch super long. While you're here, you could even kind of shimmy through the shoulders and the hips to get a little stretch for the shoulders and outside of the hips. That's an option. So about 1 minute here in this body yawn or morning stretch and just activating again through all the meridians and the chakras. I've always loved this little poem. It says, I breathe in all that is, awareness expanding to take everything in, as if my heart beats the world into being. From the unnamed vastness beneath the mind, I breathe my way into wholeness and healing. Inhalation, exhalation, each breath a yes, a letting go, a journey, and a coming home. On the exhale, hug the knees to the chest and rock big from side to side. You can either just hold on to the shins or actually interlace the fingers around the shins or take hold of the hamstrings. But the knees come in towards the chest, rocking from side to side. relaxing the lower back, massaging the lower back. And then bring the feet down to the floor. The feet and knees are about mat width apart, or if you don't have a mat, I would say a little bit wider than mat width apart. And the feet are directly underneath the knees, so knees and feet are open. Arms come out to a T, palms face up, and you're doing windshield wipers. Exhaling, lowering both knees to one side. Inhale, center. Exhaling, other side. Inhale, center. And doing it with that slow, deep breath. So exhaling, lowering both legs to one side. Inhale, center. Exhaling, other side. And while you're doing this, say the knees are going to the right, you would be looking towards the left. So move the head and neck while you're doing these windshield wipers. Knees go to the right, you're looking towards the left, then up through center, then the knees go to the left and you're looking towards the right. And do these for about 2 minutes. The feet are on the ground and you're pressing through the feet enough that you're stretching the quads. And you should be able to get a good stretch for the lower back, the outer hips. If you're not feeling too much, you can always open up the feet a little bit wider, and then that should get a deeper stretch for the quads. So taking some windshield wipers, we've needed those the past few days with our rain and our wind. And this just helps, again, to activate the lower back. Again, we're working with kidneys and adrenals. And this next poem is titled Awakening Now. Why wait for your awakening? Do you value your reasons for staying small more than the light shining through the open door? Forgive yourself. Now is the only time you have to be whole. Now. Now is the sole moment that exists to live in the light of your true nature. Perfection is not a prerequisite for anything but pain. Please, oh please, don't continue to believe in your stories of deficiency and failure. This is the day of your awakening. On the inhale, the knees come up to center. And start to heel toe the feet together, legs together. Bring the legs straight out flat on the floor. Arms come alongside the ears, just like that morning stretch, that body yawn you did before. And we're coming into Banana Asana, which you look like a banana or a crescent moon. So arms are alongside the ears, the legs are straight out flat on the mat, and you'll start to walk the heels, both heels to the right, at the same time scooching head, neck, and shoulders and arms to the right. So you're stretching the whole left side body. So if I were to look down on you, you'd look like a half moon or a crescent moon or a banana, okay? And then once you get there, so if the left hip lifts up or the left shoulder lifts up, you've gone too far. The whole body should be flat on the floor. You could grab opposite elbows, creating a square overhead. You could also cross left ankle over right, and that would get you a deeper stretch for the left hip and the left side body. So again, you're starting from that body yawn, scooching the heels and the legs over to the right, scooching head, neck, shoulders, arms over to the right. And then once you get there, you could grab opposite elbows overhead or cross the left ankle over the right. And it's called Banana Asana or Crescent Moon. And the breath goes into the left side body. This is a pose mostly for the urinary tract system, and elimination in that way helps to eliminate toxins. And you'll stay on this side for about another 2.5 minutes. And same concept, you're relaxing deeply into the floor. with the emphasis being on the left side body. This poem is titled Birthright. Despite illness of body or mind, in spite of blinding despair or habitual belief, who you are is whole. Let nothing keep you separate from the truth. The soul, illuminated from within, longs to be known for what it is. Undying, untouched by fire or the storms of life, there is a place inside where stillness and abiding peace reside. You can ride the breath to go there. Despite doubt or hopeless turns of mind, you are not broken. Spirit surrounds, embraces, fills you from the inside out. Release everything that is not your true nature. What is left, the fullness, the light and shadow, claim all that as your birthright. Slowly start to scooch your way to the other side. So if you do have the left ankle over the right, uncross the ankles, reach the arms up, scooch yourself to center, and then walking the heels over to the left, the head, neck, and shoulders and arms over to the left, stretching the right side body this time. And then once you get there, you could cross right ankle over left. You can also then come back to arms in a square position overhead. So again, you've scooched yourself to center, then the heels, both heels walk over to the left, the head, neck, and shoulders walk over to the left, crescent moon, banana asana to stretch the right side. You could cross elbows and then right ankle would cross over left. And 3 minutes total on this side. This one's titled Walk Slowly. It only takes a reminder to breathe, a moment to be still. And just like that, something in me settles, softens, makes space for imperfection. The harsh voice of judgment drops to a whisper, and I remember again that life isn't a relay race, that we will all cross the finish line, that waking up to life is what we were born for. As many times as I forget, catch myself charging forward without even knowing where I'm going, that many times I can make the choice to stop, to breathe, to be, and walk slowly into the mystery. One more minute on this side. If you have the right ankle crossed over left, uncross the ankles. If you have the arms overhead, start to scoot yourself to center in that body yawn. Arms alongside the ears, point through the toes, long and tall through the whole body. And hug the knees to the chest, rock big from side to side. Coming into happy baby, and you can either hold the shins, opening up through the legs, stretching the inner thighs, or you could take hold of the outsides of the feet and bring the knees outside the torso. The bottoms of the feet would face up towards the ceiling. You can rock from side to side or just stay static here, but you will be here for 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes. Again, knees come outside the torso, you're rocking and rolling, or you could just hold on to the shins. And this one's titled Allow, which I think is very fitting for what's happening in the world. It says, there is no controlling life. Try corralling a lightning bolt containing a tornado. Dam a stream and it will create a new channel. Resist and the tide will sweep you off your feet. Allow and grace will carry you to higher ground. The only safety lies in letting it all in. The wild and the weak, the fear, the fantasies, the failures and successes. When loss rips off the doors of the heart, or sadness veils your vision and despair, practice simply becomes bearing the truth. In the choice to let go of your known way of being, the whole world is revealed to your new eyes. 30 more seconds here. Hugging the knees to the chest and just squeeze a few breaths. And the next pose is reclined butterfly. So the soles of the feet will come together. The outer edges of the feet come all the way down to the floor. You could have rolled up towels or pillows underneath the legs for support. The arms whatever you're feeling. The hands could be on the belly, inside the thighs, out to a T, goddess arms like goalposts, alongside the ears. You know, you decide what feels best for your arms in this position, what feels most open for the shoulders. And if this is uncomfortable with the legs, you could have the knees bent with the feet flat and have the feet as wider than the mat without opening the knees to the side. But reclined butterfly, again, soles of the feet are together, outer edges of the feet are touching the floor, blankets, pillows, towels underneath the legs if you need support. Breath is as deep as possible. Again, inhaling, expanding the belly up to the rib cage and the collarbones, and exhaling back down. In butterfly, it's called the breath of life. Getting that as deep of an inhalation as you can and as much of an exhalation. And again, even making the exhalation a little bit longer than the inhale. And this is titled Let Go of Something. And you're here for 5 minutes. I don't know if I said that, but you're here for a good amount of time just so you can open and expand and relax into the pose. This is a very transformational pose. You know, I read something the other night with it, that we're all kind of in our little cocoons, right? And we're ready to expand our wings and fly, figuring out what our next steps are, and butterfly helps to release that anxiety or fear of the future. The poem is titled Let Go of Something. Let go of something somewhere. Use yoga to become aware, to touch what lies beneath the surface of the skin. Is there tension, longing for release? A knot to fear so deep and familiar that you believe it's part of who you are. Ease into dark corners, locked rooms, unexplored hallways. Gain entry, but not by force or will, but only by softness. Enter on the wings of the breath and turn the key of self-acceptance to let go of something, somewhere. Two more minutes here. Staying in the pose, inhale deep through the nose and exhale big through the mouth. Inhale nose, exhale mouth, and inhale nose, exhale mouth. If you have the arms in a different position, start to bring them down alongside the body. So you can place the hands outside the knees or the legs to help bring the legs together. And then hug the knees into the chest and rock gently from side to side. And I was gonna end with a different twist, but let's end with cat stretch, just because I had two cats walk past me while I was doing that last pose. So that means the left leg comes straight out flat on the floor. The right knee comes in towards the chest. Both feet can be relaxed. The left hand takes hold of the right knee. The right arm comes out to a T with the right palm facing up. You're then twisting the right leg over to the left, stacking the hips, so right hip stacks on top of left. And the chin can go towards the right shoulder. That would be level one. So again, left leg is straight out flat on the mat. The right knee is in towards the chest. The left hand takes hold of the right knee, right arm comes out to a T, and you're twisting the right leg over to the left, stacking the hips. Right shoulder is still relaxed down on the floor, and chin is towards the right shoulder. You could take this deeper by bending the left knee, and the right hand would take hold of the left foot while you're in the twist, so that right knee is still over. You would just bend the left knee, right hand takes hold of the left foot, and you're in that position. Now, if you want to take that deeper, you would also straighten out the right leg while you're in the twist, that the right toes come towards the left fingertips, or left fingertips would grab on to the right toes. So you actually have 3 levels to this twist. And left leg is up straight flat. Right knee comes in, left hand to right knee, right arm out to a T, twisting right leg over to the left. Or then taking it deeper in level 2, bending the left knee, right hand would take hold of the left foot. You still have the chin towards the right shoulder. Or you could also straighten out the right leg as well towards the left toes. You're in this stretch, this twist, for 3 minutes. I almost said 30 minutes, but for 3 minutes. And taking the variation that's most comfortable for you. If none of that has worked, then you could just do a basic spinal twist with both legs together, and you would lower both legs over to the left in that basic traditional spinal twist. Okay. It's about 2.5 more minutes here. And this is titled Limitless. Sun says, be your own illumination. The wren says, sing your heart out all day long. The stream says, do not stop for any obstacle. The oak said, when the wind blows, bend easily and trust your roots to hold. The stars say what you see is one small slice of a single modest galaxy. Remember that vastness cannot be grasped by the mind. The ant says small does not mean powerless. Silence says nothing. In the quiet, everything comes clear. I say limitless. I say yes. If you have the right leg straight, start to bend the right knee. If you do have hold of the left foot, start to straighten the left leg out. And on the inhale, bring the right knee up to center. Do hug both knees into the chest and give a gentle rock from side to side before we get to the other side. And then right leg comes straight out flat, left knee is in towards the chest, right hand takes hold of left knee, left arm is out to a T, twisting the left leg over to the right. And you're pretty much taking the same variation you did on the other side. If that feels okay, you could also bend the right knee and the left hand would take hold of the right foot. Both shoulders are still down on the floor. The chin comes towards the left shoulder. And then you can also straighten out the left leg and left toes would go towards the right fingers. So same twist, you've just made it to the other side. And 3 minutes here. And this is titled Who You Are. Who you are is so much more than what you do. The essence shining through the heart, soul, and center, the bare and bold truth of you, does not lie in your to-do list. You are not just at the surface of your skin, not just the impulse to arrange the muscles of your face into a smile or a frown, not just boundless energy or bone-wearing fatigue. Delve deeper. You are divinity, the vast and open sky of spirit. It's the light of God, the ember at your core, the passion and the presence, the timeless, deathless essence of you that reaches out and touches me. Who you are transcends fear and turns suffering into liberation. Who you are is love. If you have the left leg straight out, start to bend the left knee. If you have hold of the right foot, start to straighten out the right leg. On the inhale, bring the left knee up to center, and on the exhale, hug both knees into the chest and give a rock from side to side. Into final relaxation. Now it could be the way we started. You could come back to a pentacle position or just lying flat, or you could get into bed or on a couch or wherever you're at to make yourself most comfy. Blanket or pillows can go underneath the knees for lower back support. And I'll play for about 10 minutes, the bowls and the different instruments. At the end of relaxation, I'll read a poem titled Let It Go that's different than the Let Go of Something I just read. And so for right now, you're just relaxing deeply into the floor. If you feel we missed a pose, you're always welcome to take a wiggle or a stretch, or maybe it's more of a supported bridge or shoulder stand or legs up the wall, if you're at your house and you have access to the wall. So it's your choice how you relax for the next few minutes. You could use a chair or put the legs up. Let go of the ways you thought life would unfold. The holding of plans or dreams or expectations, let it all go. Save your strength to swim with the tide. The choice to fight what is here before you now will only result in struggle, fear, and the desperate attempts to flee from the very energy you long for. Let go. Let it all go and flow with the grace that washes through your days. Whether you receive it gently or with all your quills raised to defend against invaders. Take this on faith. The mind may never find the explanations that it seeks, but you will move forward nonetheless. Let go and the wave's crest will carry you to unknown shores, beyond your wildest dreams or destinations. Let it all go and find the place of rest and peace and certain transformation. Taking a deep inhale through the nose and exhale big through the mouth. Inhaling nose, exhaling mouth, and inhale nose, exhale mouth. Back to long, deep breathing through the nose. Start to wiggle the fingers and the toes. And rotate big through the ankles and wrists. Stretching long overhead. So come back to that morning stretch, body yawn for at least a minute, pointing through the toes, spreading through the fingers, activating through the whole body, maybe giving a little wiggle through the shoulders and the hips. And hug the knees to the chest, rock from side to side. Rolling to the left side, using the left arm as a pillow and staying in the fetal position for a couple breaths. And slowly making your way to easy seated. With the hands at the heart center in prayer, tucking thumbs to the sternum. And let us chant Om 3 times, the universal sound of wholeness, of oneness. The first time we chant is for yourself. The second time we chant is for someone else. And the last time is for all beings on this earth. Be healthy, happy, and free. Inhale deep. Whoa. Taking 3 breaths together on the inhale, reach the arms up, spread the fingers, bring the palms together overhead, exhale through the heart in prayer. 2 more, inhale, reach up, palms come together. Exhale through the heart center. And one last time, inhale, reach up, palms come together. Exhale through the heart center, bringing the thumbs to the sternum. This is what I have to say to you. You know all that you need to do. You already are all that you need to be. It remains only for you to recognize and acknowledge who you are, what you know, and the powerful presence that is awake within you. You think of yourself as fragile, but you are in fact strong. You sometimes feel alone, but you are in truth connected through spirit to all beings. Believe in this connection. Believe in yourself. That is all you need to do, for all is well. And I thank you all very much for joining me in this yin practice this afternoon. Namaste. And I don't know if Jill unmutes us or if anybody else unmutes us, but thank you for being here. And please drink lots of water because you just did for detoxification and, you know, it's like a deep tissue massage, deep stretching. So do please drink tons of water.